as a guy who has had many interactions with the police, again, I've been held up before. I've been held up at gunpoint with a red dot on my forehead when I was 20 years old, by the police, not knowing if I would breathe another breath. Um, I've had some very unfortunate situations, and so that is the experience of a black man. And so here we have now Jacob Blake, shot 7 times in the back, uh, in front of his children. In front of his children. I think 3 children in the back of the car, and he was shot 7 times in the back. And thank God that he survived. At this point, he survived and paralyzed from the waist down. We don't know if that's permanent or not. But here are my thoughts. Number one, he should not have been shot. Now we talk extensively. I talk all the time on this show about the need for better policing, the need for better training, the need for better hiring, the need for psychological evaluations, the need for checking for PSD, the need to go deeper in what we call policing in this country, right? The need to look at implicit biases and things of that nature. And so as I review the short clip, the video that we have, it's clear to me that he should not have been shot. You see him walking into his car to grab, to whatever. I don't know. It seems to me maybe he was going to check on his children, I would think. But he should not have been shot. That was a perfect situation for de-escalation, right? Why didn't they tase him? He didn't have a gun. Why didn't they just tase the fella? Why didn't they use some type of physical force to just take him down of some sort? But instantly guns are drawn on this fella as though he has an AR-15. But number two, I want to be critical of our dear brother. I love Brother Blake, but I have to be critical in this moment as well. Black men, black women, black anybody, black whatever, children, whomever, brown folks, folks of color, anybody. If you are stopped by a police officer for whatever reason, you may be right. They may be stopping you illegally. I've been stopped illegally before. I've been frustrated with the police. I didn't want to comply with the things that they asked me to do. I didn't want to get out of the car. I didn't want to give them my license. I was going about my business. I wanted to curse them out, but I did not. And so with the information that I have, Brother Blake should have complied. He should have just complied, right? And this is not me casting aspersion on him, because I'm sure he felt as though they're messing with me for no reason. I'm tired of this. I'm frustrated. I've seen these other situations. I'm a man. I didn't do anything wrong. I get it. Trust me. I've gone through it tons of times, right? But it's best to comply and live to see another day and hire a lawyer and allow the legal process to play itself out. It's better to comply and to live to tell your story. And if they were wrong, then you sue the pants off the law enforcement agency and you get a good chunk of money, or whatever the case may be. But we want to see you live, right? And so some of these situations can be avoided if we just comply. And I know it feels like emasculation. I know it feels like people stripping you down. I get it. Trust me, I get it. God, I get it. And I hate that I'm saying this, but we want to see our brothers and sisters live to see another day. So comply. But here's what I saw. We saw this in the case in Atlanta with Rayshard Brooks. And this happens all the time. I don't suggest people tussle with the police. I don't. I really don't. But it happens sometimes. And when police lose control of the situation, they're trained to fight and be a warrior. And oftentimes when an African American gets that physical leg up on them and manhandles them, guess what, folks? Their ego is bruised. Their ego gets bruised and they look to settle the score with the gun, with force. We saw with Rayshard Brooks. He tussled with the police, running away. The cop's ego was bruised, shot him in the back. As soon as he shot him, he says, I got him. Same situation here. Why do you shoot this man 7 times? He doesn't have a gun. He's not presenting a threat toward you, and you shoot him 7 times in the back because the cop's ego was bruised, because he tussled with them. He walked away, and the cop looked to settle the score. We've got to change policing in this country. And Joe Biden isn't going to wave the magic wand to fix it. Donald Trump isn't going to wave the magic wand to fix it. I don't care what they tell you. We've got to hold these police agencies accountable. If that's holding mayors accountable who appoint them, if that's holding state legislators accountable who create the rules within each state. But we cannot have cops selling a score, essentially a pissing match, at the scene of a possible crime by shooting Black men, Black women, Black children in the back and killing them. Thank God this dear brother Jacob Blake survived, but that's normally not the case. And so I pray for the family of Jacob Blake. I pray for the entire community of Kenosha, Wisconsin, about 100,000 folks. I pray for the psyche, for the mental health of Black folks around this country who continue to see this type of lawlessness and police violence and all-out war on the Black family. I pray for our country. I also pray for police who wake up every day and want to feed their family, and they have a tough job. And each situation is a split-second decision that they have to make. And all cops aren't bad. Let me be clear about that. There are good cops. I have good cops who are friends, and I support them. But just in any profession, you have bad apples. You have those who are not handling the job well, who need to be taken off the job, who need to be fired, who need to be retrained, who need to be locked up when criminal activity is happening.